Hey fellow friends, hope everyone is doing good. Hash again with another quick Java tutorial. Today we're going to talk about polymorphism in Java. Polymorphism is a Greek word, and pretty much poly means money, and morph means form. So it's pretty much many forms. Uh, Polymorphism in Java is basically the ability of an object to take on many forms. Um, I would say the most common use of polymorphism occurs when a parent class reference is used to refer to a child class object. It's pretty much the ability of an object to identify as more than one type. You can put it that way. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and create a couple of classes. Let me go ahead and open Eclipse and we'll go from there. So what I'm going to do, let's go ahead and create a package first. And we'll call this polymorph. We're going to create a couple of classes. What I'm looking is into is like actually trying to okay, let's just create some let's create types of cars, pretty much put a couple cars and do a comparison of speed or gas consumption, stuff like that. I'm gonna create like 4 classes. Another one, Ferrari. I created one. Mercedes, one Ferrari, and then let's do another one. Let's say Jeeps. Let's create another class and call this main. And we're gonna hit the main method there too, so because it's gonna be a class that will run our code. Let's create another class because we're gonna be applying the inheritance topic here too. So because it's pretty much the matter of parent and child. So this will be the parent class. Let's just designate this as cars. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's go to the main class. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and create objects of all these 4 classes, or 3 classes basically. Let's start off with Mercedes. Mercedes, let's do with a capital letter so we have a little difference back there. The new keyword, Mercedes. I would have typed those before. That should have saved time for you guys. Okay. All right. Let's create it. Let's do another one, Ferrari. Would like to make sure that I have the correct spelling back there. Oh my God, I think I got 3 R's back there. Ferrari. All right, so Ferrari. Keyword and Ferrari. And another one, Jeeps. We'll do Jeep. In the capital letter. Jeep. The keyword. Jeeps again. So there you go. So we created objects of the 3 classes we have here. Let's create some methods here as well within these classes so we can actually navigate through. And so what we're going to do here, we're going to create pretty much a method with no return type. Public void, you know the keyword, right? So we're going to call this, let's say, drive. Or drives, basically. And we're going to print a line here. Excuse me. We'll say, let's say Mercedes drives 230 miles per hour. Let's just go ahead and copy paste basically this, just change the car names so that way we can save some time back here. My bad, I'm sorry. There you go. And we'll just say, what is this? Jeeps. There you go. And do another one for our Ferrari. And just call this Ferrari. I'm gonna put again the 3 R's back there. Let's say this is like 400 miles per hour. Jeeps, Ferrari, and as well as Mercedes. There you go. So we got our objects here created, right? So in order to pretty much um, apply the concept or see the power of polymorphism, we have to do several things to basically see the power of polymorphism, as I would say. Uh, let's create let's store basically these objects within an array. These 3 objects within an array. Um, let's say well, first of all, let me just say let's Mercedes. Mercedes. Say types of cars. Sign. Put the elements that I have within the object. Mercedes with a capital letter. Then I have Ferrari. I get 1 R back there. And Jeep. So as you can see here, that I'm only pretty much storing you see that? If you hover over here, the red line is gone, right? Because it's only storing within this array, this particular object, or only 1 element pretty much. So in order to have all of the elements back here, what I'm gonna do is I will go ahead and what I'm gonna do is I'll go ahead and pretty much use the parent class name. So these are the child classes, as I mentioned. First and foremost, before that, let's go ahead actually apply the inheritance concept here. We'll designate this as parent. We'll designate these as child. Extends cars. Ferrari extends cars. Mercedes extends car. That's because it's type of cars, right? No matter what. So cars, basically, right? Vehicles, right? And then we have different type of vehicles, the Jeep, Ferrari, and Mercedes. I'm going to go back to our main class. Let me just maximize this a little bit. Now, instead of this, if I put cars now, it should acknowledge or pretty much store all these 3 elements within the array, right? In order to iterate through all these elements, we would have to use the enhanced for loop. And how are we going to do that? We'll go ahead and create one for, we're going to say cars, obviously the data type we have. We're going to put a letter, let's say Z, to the counter for us, the colon, and then the variable name that we have declared here. I can do a copy paste. And the curly braces, open and close, so that way we have it good to go. So technically, what you can do is, even without doing this, right, I can actually go ahead and say Mercedes.drive. Did I create methods back there? We did create methods as named drive, right? So let me go ahead back there. You can actually call it up on straight the methods straight without even going through an enhanced for loop. But this is I think this is the best way to iterate through each elements, no matter what. So the enhanced for loop would iterate all the elements. It would not go particularly through Mercedes first, and then the Jeeps, and then the Ferrari. You know what I mean? So I think that's the best way to basically apply the concept here. So let me go ahead back to the main class, say z.drives. And if it is giving me an error, why is that? I think I have to. So yeah, I have to create. Yeah, I forgot basically to create the method back here. Now I should be good to go. As I mentioned earlier, you can do that straight without even creating an enhanced for loop. There you go. So we got the Mercedes that drives 230 mile per hour, Ferrari 400 mile per hour, and Jeeps that drives 230 mile per hour. So yeah, this is pretty much the overall concept of polymorphism. And as I mentioned earlier, it is the ability of an object to identify as more than one type. So that's pretty much what polymorphism is. I hope you guys liked it, and I wish you guys a great rest of your day, evening, or whatever is back there. Thank you.